Hi there. Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the studio. Why are we meeting in the studio in the middle of summer? Well, because it's very warm outside. It's actually quite warm and humid in the studio, but I have the back door open, so I've got some fresh air in here. Of course, it's letting in flies. Oh well. It is around 70 degrees today, which I understand is nowhere near the kind of heat that many people are experiencing, but it's warm for us. And it's actually quite beautiful outside if you're just sitting out there having a glass of lemonade. But once you start working in the sunshine, it's intense heat. You know, like the temperature isn't that hot, but the sun is intense, if that makes any sense. Anyhow, I never got around to taking care of my African violets this winter, and a couple of them are definitely looking like they want some extra help. So we're going to do African violets today. I have one African violet pot, a traditional pot, so it's a glazed container, a ceramic container, has no drainage. It's like a little bowl. And then it has a unglazed terracotta pot. The lip is glazed to match the container, but the rest of it is unglazed, so it absorbs water. And what you do is you fill this up with water, and then you put this inside. And then the roots of the African violet are inside of the pot in soil, and it draws the water up through the terracotta into the soil and into the roots. I have a heck of a time finding those containers in large sizes that are reasonably priced. Actually, in large sizes at all. And then this size, I got like maybe 6 or 7 of them from a big box store years ago. And they were like less than $10. And I should have bought so many more. I had no idea how large my African violet collection was going to end up being. Anyhow, now to find these pots, they're around $25 to $30. I did find these plastic versions, so I'm going to try them. It looks like... let's move this out of the way so you can see what's going on. Okay. I'm just now unboxing them. I know I looked at them online, but I don't know what they really are doing. Okay, so we have a container here. And then we have the container that the African violet's going to go in. It has a bunch of holes in the bottom here. And my understanding is it's going to go in here. But I believe there's a little wick that is in here. So we've got this little thing. Let's see. Let's read the directions. Self-watering planters. So, run the cotton rope through. Ooh, there's a little bit larger holes right there. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm going to put the string through here. Through here. Okay. All right. And install the storage basin under the planting pot. Okay. Oh, it looks like... I think that's just it. Okay. And insert the watering lip on the water filler. Oh. So then it comes with this little thing that goes right there. So you could put your water in there. And then we'll just transplant the plants and we'll put the water on the bottom. Okay, sounds easy enough. Ooh. All right, let's do one at a time, shall we? First of all, okay, water for myself first. Have to stay hydrated in this heat. All right, so I do have this traditional African violet pot, and it's not as big as the other one. You can see how much more shallow it is compared. So I'm going to take this guy out and put it in here, and we'll put one of these smaller ones in this container. So I do have the African violet potting mix. I'm going to use right. Good grief. All right, so this bag is brand new. I don't feel like I need to pre-moisten it, so I'm just gonna put the soil right in to this container. Leaving soil. So the African violet mix has a lot of perlite, and it has a little bit of bark in it, creating plenty of drainage. We're gonna pull this out of here. Without ripping it out, loosen it up a little bit. Great. And you can see how root bound she is. Just gonna gently tease bottom of these roots a little bit. I did let these dry out a little bit before this project because I knew I would be coming into it pretty soon. So it's a little bit wilted. Take this opportunity to take off any dead or damaged foliage. And then we're just gonna put it right in here. Okay, so then I want to just make sure it's all tucked in nice in there. African violets are a little bit sensitive to touch. They don't like their leaves being touched. So I try my best to not touch very many of them. I feel like I can do a little bit more. Okay. Okay, there we go. And I'll soil in there. Yep. Here. Excellent. So we'll go ahead and put water in all of these when we're through. Feels like it's rocking a little bit. I'm gonna bury the crown just a tiny bit more. Nice thing with African violets is they can stand to have their stem buried a little bit so that they don't rock like this. Hopefully with a little bit more soil to grow in, it'll be a little bit more stable. All right, so then I'm gonna do this one, which is actually in this container here. I feel like this one's gonna go in an even bigger container. So I'm actually gonna put this in this container and then we'll find a decorative pot for it because I need it to be bigger than the pot that it's in. Ideally, it would go in a clay pot, but I don't have a clay pot bigger than this pot right now. So I'm gonna take her spent blooms off. So I just go down to the bottom, the base of the plant, and pull off the stem. I'll just go through here. Same with this one. This one is on its way out, so let's pull that off. Okay. All right, then this out. Not as root bound, but it's getting there. It's on its way. Just gonna pull off any of these old stems. It's just an opportunity to clean it up. Now, if I wanted to, I could divide this. You could see that there's 2 plants in here. For now, I'm just going to give it a little extra soil and call it good. I feel a little less guilty anyway. Okay. Now, African violets are very easy to propagate. And if you're interested in that, I will link a African violet propagation video below. All right, so this has a drip container that's very tight. Okay. Okay. And so take all these things out. All the packaging. Then these and so these have been in clay pots without a reservoir. Obviously do fantastic. They don't have to have bottom watering. They just do really well when there is bottom watering. Sheesh. Right. Isn't that so pretty? Dark burgundy color. Okay. Eek. Oops. Okay. So, because I only have one of these dark burgundy ones, I'm actually going to take her leaf here, cut the bottom off, and just pop her right in the soil. I just have to make sure that it stays moist. Just like that. And it'll grow another plant. Okay. So then we're going to use this one for this one. This one has been very hard to keep watered because it doesn't have any kind of reservoir, and it's just in a plastic container. The plastic containers tend to dry out a lot faster, so I'm interested to see what happens with these plastic with a reservoir. I don't know what kind of difference reservoir will do for it. I'll try it out here. Taking a little bit of the soil off the top just because I'm worried that it might be a little bit of hydrophobia. So, because it's so dry and crusty. So I'm just breaking it up, the soil up just a tiny bit. This is one of the ones that we propagated. Looks like got a couple of damaged ones on here. Okay. I told you they're sensitive. Okay, so again, I could just cut the stem off of here, cut the bottom off so that there's some exposed cambium. And then I just stick it in the soil. Just putting it in with this one so I remember which one it is. And there we have it. Now, okay, clear a spot. I'm gonna go ahead and use this little guy. Rid of the old, some water left in there. Just give it to my Monstera. She could take it all. All right, then new soil. Let's see what kind of root system we have. So this one, we've got a little tiny one in there. That's just been sort of barely hanging on. You can see it keeps losing leaves, but it's got tiny leaves, the tiniest little root system. My hope is with this water reservoir system, it will be a lot happier. Hopefully. Okay, so let's just move all these old ones out of the way. There we go. That's going to do it for today. I have maybe 3 other African violets that need to be transplanted in much larger containers, but this is what we're doing for now. So let's go ahead and try out this little reservoir situation. It says not to overfill it. Oh, I see. I have to be a little bit more careful. I am going to water them in from the top because we just transplanted them. And I want to make sure that their roots get settled. A little overzealous, I think, watering. Ooh. And then we just fill this up about halfway, quarter of the way. If you fill it all the way up, it'll spill over the top. There's also, this one have holes? No. Sometimes they have holes, like you see these ones have holes. If you fill it up too high inside and then you put the container down in, it pushes it up. So be careful. They said to just put a couple inches on the bottom, enough for the wicks to wick up. Okay. And then this one doesn't have a bottom reservoir, so we'll just water it from the top. And then I will find a container for it to sit down inside, decorative container. They definitely seem to do better when there's even when they're in a plastic container. Not with a drip tray, but with like another container. Like this is just a glass vase, candy dish type thing. And I had this sitting inside of it, and it did really well. I did the same kind of thing, watered from the bottom, and the plant seemed to really like it. That's this plant. It's one of these two white ones, so you could see they're very happy. So that system does work. But I feel good because everybody is in bigger pots with more room to breathe. We have a couple of succulents and a couple of cacti that I need to transplant. So we'll be doing that in a video here soon. And maybe, I don't know if you'll take you along with all my houseplant journeys, but I have a few other little houseplant things that need to be addressed that I didn't get around to doing back in January, February time when I normally work with my houseplants. I just didn't get to them. And then spring happened into summer, and now we're kind of midsummer in those hot days. So this is an excellent time to come inside and do a little plant care inside. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were inspired to take care of your houseplants even when the sun is calling us out to play with all of our fun annuals and tropical plants and our vegetables and herbs and everything that's just going absolutely beautiful out in the garden right now. Don't forget about your houseplants. They still need your tender, loving care in the summertime. As a matter of fact, this is a great time to fertilize your houseplants because they are actively growing as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're celebrating your life, and we will see you in the next video.